Growing up, you see some family that they hardly scale through life. Like you see that the mother and father have nothing they are really doing, and they are living in a single room. You find out that the child themselves also, they are not even gearing to something big. Instead, they are still looking at that normal, mundane way of doing things. And you ask yourself, why is that? These people keep finding themselves in this cycle. Is it that they are not ready to scale? The painful part is that some of them will even get pregnant in that same one room. Maybe the guy that they are getting pregnant for is not responsible. Still bring that child to that same one room. Their parents will start taking care of that child. And this life cycle keep going on and on. And some people will say it's a spiritual problem. No, believe me, it's not a spiritual problem. You know why I tell you it's not a spiritual problem? It's because there's a pattern that that family keep following. You will notice that the grandparents of that person, that is how they were living the pattern. Nobody was really taken out of the bus. Okay, I grew up in a one room. Why should I start giving birth in that one room? The first thing I need to look for is, okay, how do I have to scale my life? How do I have to work on myself to get better? If I see that, okay, fine, the people in my family are always after women and getting married early, and this will result to them being poor because they don't have the capacity to take care of these children yet. And remember, when you start having a child, there's a lot of pressure on a man to start going for a manual job that is only going to feed them hand to mouth. You will not focus on scaling. Now, because of that children you are already bearing, you start focusing on the children and live your own life goal. That poverty circle start coming around. I have a friend then, a young guy. He was still in his early 20s, or let's say mid-20s then. And this guy was living with his parents in a flat. This guy barely can feed himself. But all of a sudden, this guy told me, I'm looking for a wife now. I said, should your main priority right now be looking for a wife? Or your priority should be working on yourself? And he said, no. Are you forgetting that most times wife and children bring blessings? I was like, you said what? And times this guy got a girl pregnant and started living with themselves out of the wedlock. Most times these people don't even have money to do the proper wedding. This guy started living out of mouth, started calling people for handouts. And actually told me that children bring blessing. You give birth to your first child, there's no still blessing. Instead, you find yourself with your wife still living in a room and in a very bad condition. And you ask yourself, is it that these people don't think? Yes, they think, but they don't understand that before you can break out of a cycle, you have to do the needful. It's no miracle. You can go and sleep in the church, just as the way the pastors of Nigeria will tell you to keep sleeping in church. No matter how much you sleep in church, nothing is going to happen. You have to own your own destiny by the horn. When they say that you should hold the bull by the horn. So if you don't hold your own destiny by the horn, most times you find yourself in that same cycle of your family. Why? Because there's a cycle that you and your father have been living. That is why they'll keep being poor. Even though you touch small money, you don't know the next thing to do. Instead, the next thing is for you to keep bearing children or do the wrong thing with that money. So as a young boy or a young girl, you find yourself in a wrong home, you find yourself in a poverty home. First thing you need to do is to discipline yourself and tell yourself that I don't want to live the way my father is living. I don't want to work till my old age to keep fending for my children.